Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new, which there's a very high chance that you are. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get on with the video. I am not even going to pretend I knew this book was going to come out until literally Sunday, because I did not. I have no idea how I had not heard about this book release, especially considering the fact that I have been on Book Talk for over a year now and I post there every single day. How did I not know that Britney Spears was coming out with a book? I have no clue.
I think I heard about this book, but I thought it was a documentary because maybe she also came out with a documentary, but I'm not entirely sure.
What I am sure of is that this book came out literally yesterday, and it already has over 2,000 reviews on Audible. I don't even know how many Goodreads review it has. I'm gonna check that right now. Over 5,000. So in total, just judging by Goodreads and Audible, over 7,000 people have read this book already. And I honestly need to be part of these 7,000 people, because I've heard that this book is just pretty much like reading a gossip magazine for 5 hours straight. And I just need to be a part of this moment in history. So I decided that today we were going to read Britney Spears' book, which is called The Woman in Me. Unfortunately, it is not read by her. I was really hoping that it was going to, because I love when audiobooks are narrated by the author, especially memoirs. But this one is read by Michelle Williams, which I'm assuming is going to do a fantastic job. And I don't know much about this book. I don't know if this is going to be like Britney's whole life, although I highly doubt it, because the audiobook is only 5 hours long, and it's 3 hours and 40 minutes if you're listening to it in 1.5 speed, which is what I always do. I cannot listen to a book on 1.0 speed because I feel like it sounds like a snail, except for Jeanette McCurdy. I actually had to slow down her book because she talked so fast. So this literally is so unimportant right now. What is important is that we are reading Britney's book. I literally don't know much about it other than the fact that I'm supposed to hate Justin Timberlake when I'm done reading this book, which honestly, I haven't even read it, but I kind of already do, because I am always going to stand by the women. And honestly, good for Britney. I hope that she feels liberated by writing this, and I cannot wait to hear her story. So let's get on with this book. I'm about to clean the house. I really need to clean my house. It is Wednesday, and I usually clean my house every Monday and Friday. I have not done that yet this week because it's just been one of those weeks. So we are going to do that. We're going to listen to this audiobook and hopefully be done in like 24 hours. So welcome to the vlog, I guess, and let's hope this book is entertaining. Okay, this is the quickest update ever. I literally just started listening to this book. I don't even think we can say I listened to 1% of it, but I didn't know the introduction is read by Britney Spears, and she does say that she's getting someone else to read the story because it's too hard for her to read it, which I can understand because she has been through a lot. Like, this woman just got her voice back, so whatever she needs to do to tell her story, we're gonna let her do it. So right now I am listening to her, but it's gonna change very soon. But I just thought I'd come here and update because I literally just said that she wasn't in the audiobook, but she is a little bit, which is cool. Hi, I'm so sorry for the horrible lighting. I literally hate the lighting in this room, but I am about to log into therapy in like 2 minutes. So I could only really listen to the audiobook for 30 minutes so far. I'm going to go back to it once I'm done with therapy, but I can already tell I'm on chapter 6. And it's really interesting. She is going through like her whole childhood. So we do start when she's like young, but it's really fast forwards. We're not getting like a ton of details, but we can get a pretty good overview of what childhood was like for her. And if you can read between the lines, like, you can understand what she went through when she was a kid. And it's really interesting how much you can already see the pressure that it's building on her to become talented, to become like a solution to all of the issues that her family has. And it really made me think of like family YouTubers. I don't know why. I think it's because I literally just listened to like Swoop's take on like The Passengers, maybe that was their name. And it made me think of that, just that pressure of like a child feeling like they are responsible for their family and having already so many responsibilities. And even though it sounds like she's enjoying what she's doing, at the same time, I don't feel like she's being given the space to be a kid and to just have fun, because it went from her being like a cute, talented little kid to her like having responsibilities. So that's really interesting. I'm engaged. I flew through, I mean, it was only 30 minutes, but it did not feel like 30 minutes, and I'm excited to continue, but I do have to go talk to my therapist now. So I'll see you in a little bit. Justin Timberlake has joined the chat. I finished therapy 30 minutes ago, and then I went straight back to the audiobook. I've been listening and finishing cleaning up the house since, and he just got introduced. And I am nervous because from the get-go, we can see that she was like crazy about him, right? She's like all about him, and I don't know where he stands. I don't know what he's going to do because I haven't heard anything about it, but I am stressed because she's so young right now. She's so innocent. She's just discovering this world where like she is having fun, but at the same time there's so much pressure and there's so much expectation like built on her, and there are things that like she just wants to do as a kid but she's not allowed to, but there are also things that she's having access to that no other kid has. So it's a lot for a child, and this bit just got introduced and I don't know what he's going to do, but all that I know is that I am stressed out. And the worst thing about listening or reading stories that are true is the fact that like there's absolutely nothing you can do to change the outcome of this. Like, this is something that has already happened, so no matter how frustrated you get, you literally cannot change the outcome. And I think it is still important to hear these stories, especially when it comes to children having to work in an industry as big as this from such a young age, and how we can deal with this and make sure that kids are not going through what she went through. But it's just the fact that like I'm listening to this, I'm stressed out, I know bad things are going to happen, and there's nothing I can do because it's already happened. This is like someone's life, and I'm not even like, I don't know. It's fucking stressful. Okay, so I just got to the part in the story where she like hits her face on like a screen. It's not really like a spoiler because I don't think it's going to be that important to the story. But it made me laugh, not at her, but because the night my partner and I met, he actually did that. Like, we were going to someone else's house and he ran straight at the door, like hit his nose and everything, and he got a nosebleed. And it just made me laugh because it made me think of that moment. But very unimportant update. Hi, I have around 2 hours left of this audiobook, so I listened to almost 2 hours of it. And what I can gather from this so far, I honestly don't know what my percentage is because I don't know how to check that on Audible. Like, Libby shows you straight up what your percentage is. I don't know if Audible does, so I literally have no clue how far along I am in the story. But so far, what I've gathered from her story is like just how isolating her experience has been. It truly feels like she has no one she can truly rely on but herself. Like, even her family, like, she has done everything right. She has done everything that she was supposed to. She has tried her best to seem like an innocent and pure woman. But still, the way in which she was portrayed and the way in which I remember her being portrayed is so different from, like, her story, you know, because the media was so terrible to her. And honestly, like, I played a part on this as well, because whenever I think of Britney Spears, whenever I think back to that time, I did see her as this like impure woman sort of thing. But yeah, like, it's so wild how, like, to actually get her perspective on very big and very like monumental things that happened with like Britney Spears, like things that I remember hearing about. I remember seeing like the snake on the VMA, the jeans outfit that she was wearing with Justin Timberlake. All of those things are things that I remember so clearly. And listening to the book, I am like remembering back to that time and how my perspective of Britney Spears, of her as an artist, of her as a person, is so far removed from the actual reality and from like what she was going through, and how dangerous really it is to make assumptions about a person based on what we see on TV. I know that nowadays it's somewhat different with social media. We get to see a little bit more of like personal accounts of things, but still, man, like things really are not what we assume they are just because of like media. And I really, really do feel for her. And I feel like where we are in the story, she just seems like a very lonely person that has tried her absolute best to achieve perfection and to please so many people, when in reality nothing she could have done would have ever been good enough, not for the media and apparently not for her family either. And I am getting really heated about this, so I'm just gonna take a break and eat my lunch. But so far I'm really enjoying the book. I do feel like the writing is very like conversational. It feels like very straightforward, and I don't know if that's because I'm listening to it or not, but it just literally feels like someone telling their story. But it's very interesting. It's making me think a lot, and honestly, good for Britney. Like, good for her for finally having the chance to tell her fucking side of the story, because Jesus Christ. Hi, I have not updated the vlog since we last spoke, and that's because I have not listened to the audiobook anymore because I had a yoga class, so I paused for that. But now I'm about to start on dinner. It's pretty early, it's only 4:15, but I just want to get it over with, and I have the time right now, so I'm gonna start on dinner. And of course, I'm going to hop back onto my audiobook and listen to some more, so hopefully soon I'll have another update. Good morning to everyone except Justin Timberlake. As you can see, it's the next morning. I actually have not listened to my audiobook since we last spoke, and the reason for that was because my partner got home yesterday a lot earlier than he normally does, so I just hung out with him. But that is about to change because I am determined to finish this audiobook today. So I'm about to sit down and do my nails. I actually have an event today. It's my first ever like influencer event. I got invited to this Dolly Parton event that's happening here in Nashville, so I'm gonna go to that, and I want my nails to look a little nicer than what they look like right now. I usually do gel on my nail, but I've been waiting to do it next week because I'm going to Brazil next week, so I want my nails to look nice for that trip. So I'm just gonna use normal polish. I always use Brazilian normal polish because American nail polishes are just not that great. So yeah, we're about to sit down, get my nails done, listen to more of this audiobook, get more and more infuriated with Justin Timberlake and probably with Britney's family as well. But I'm really excited. I have been literally looking forward to listening to this audiobook all morning while I was working, so let's do just that. She just said, like, it seems like nobody cared how I felt. And it's really fucking true. Like, I truly feel like the media and the people that like were exploiting her did her so freaking dirty. Like, she's a person and she was going through something traumatic in her personal life and it just got exploited. And I understand that she is like famous and that fame comes with those type of things, but the fact that she didn't have a single person that was there to like vouch for her, that was there to stand up for her, and she didn't know how to do that for herself because she was never taught. She was told that if she did it, she wouldn't be this nice girl that like the media wanted to interview, but then they just took advantage of that. It's just, it's infuriating. part, and this is gonna be a little bit like spoilery, where like she has like, I mean, it's not a spoiler because it's literally like public news, but she got married in Vegas and her family's like pissed off like that she got married. And why do you think they were pissed off? Because her money wouldn't be theirs anymore. Like, it's not even like they care about her. I swear to God, it's probably because of the fucking money. Ugh. Britney girl, if you're watching this, I will fight whoever you need me to. I swear to God, I'm a horrible fighter, but I will for you. Because you deserved better. You really, really did. How did it take me this long to remember that Britney Spears' sister, like her little sister, was Zoe 101? I literally have been listening to this book for nearly 3 hours, and I just remember that. Completely changed my image of her, honestly. Something that I think is really interesting, and as I listen to this book, I'm thinking more and more about, is how like every single big thing that has happened in her life, aside from of course like being famous and stuff, but every single like human experience that she has, that most of us are gonna have, like her first breakup, you know, having a first boyfriend and getting your heart broken for the first time, having kids, like going through a pregnancy that you decide to terminate, like all of those things that are big moments in your life that can be really hard and really traumatizing. She literally had no one to help her through it. So yeah, of course she freaked out. She didn't know how to deal with shit. Like, the fuck? She just got to the part of the story where like she has her kids and she's going through like her party stage, right? And she's saying that it wasn't really as wild as it's portrayed to be, and like her kids were being taken care of whenever she would go out to like have fun. And she was really young. She was like in her early 20s. And this is really making me think to like what's happening with like Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas right now, because Sophie's being portrayed as this like wild girl that like wants to party, and Joe is the one that wants to have like a family life and things like that. And I'm like, Joe, you are the Kevin in this relationship, okay? And I'm not saying Sophie is like Britney or like she is naive as Britney, but like, don't try to play us like that. Do not try to play us like that. We see right through you and your fucking PR team. I just finished doing my nails like 20 minutes ago. I kind of messed up because I think I put too many layers on, so it's kind of too thick, so I'm hoping it's not instantly going to get fucked. But I took a little break and I was on Instagram, and this is so unrelated, but I'm like so shook. I've been staring at my phone like this for so long. I found this guy randomly. His Instagram just like showed up on my like For You page, and his name is Garrett Galvin probably. It's this guy right here, and his videos are fucking wild. Like, this dude, like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, I truly have no words to this. And I'm sorry this has nothing to do with Britney, but like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, I literally almost cried when I told my students that I found a spider on my couch, and one of my kids said that if that spider laid eggs, there were probably 1,000 spiders in my house. Like, that still haunts me. Hi, I just got out of the shower, as you can probably tell, and it's time for me to get back to my audiobook. My partner told me yesterday that there is a new Mario game out called Mario Wonders, and I love Mario. You know when people say that they have like cozy games that they love to play, and it's usually like Animal Crossing and that Disney Pleasure Island. That's not what it's called. Whatever that game is called, the Disney game. I feel like those games tend to stress me out because I just feel like I have so many responsibilities. Like whenever I have a piece of land that I have to tend to, it just stresses me out so much. Like I tried playing Animal Crossing and I would get so stressed out because I had to weed, I had to shake trees, I had to dig, I had to talk to people otherwise they were going to leave my island. So it just really stressed me out. But for some reason, Mario, Crash, those type of games just bring me so much peace, and it's what I love to play whenever I'm listening to an audiobook. So I am downloading the new game. Let's see. It says right here that we have 3 minutes remaining, and then I'm going to put that on the TV, get my headphones back on, and listen to the audiobook for a little bit longer. I can't play for too long because it's almost 1 p.m. It's 12:53, and my partner is going to come to pick me up for us to go to that event at 2:30, so I have to start getting ready at around like 1:30, 1:45. So until then, you will find me on this couch, hopefully having a blast playing this new Mario game, because I watched a video yesterday and it looked like so much fun, and listening to my audiobook. So until then, I don't know what I should say, but I'll see you later. That's such a good point. How she's like, I was in a conservatorship because I supposedly wasn't fit to take care of myself, but yet they were still expecting her to do the work. Like, if she's not fit to take care of herself, how is she fit to work? Like, to keep on showing up in front of the cameras, to keep on recording stuff. Shameful. This is so cool. Look at me. This little bitch. Seriously, her father. Just the like straight up manipulation of her, like from her family, of like having her kids as like dangling in front of her, and having that as what they're gonna use to like have control of her, is just so dirty. You're doing this to your own child. Like, it just, I don't understand. Hello everyone, it's time for my final thoughts on this book. I finished listening to this book around 2 hours ago. I literally finished listening to the book when my partner got here to pick me up for the event, so it was literally the perfect timing. So we went to the event and I just got back. I thought I really liked this like outfit combo, but then I started feeling like I look like The Rock. I'm not entirely sure, but we're back now, and I thought I would come here and update you on my final thoughts on this book. I really enjoyed listening to Britney's story. Not only was it like very eye-opening, it also made me reflect a lot on how like I consume media, and how we as a society make assumptions about people based on like snippets that we see on like the VMA, or little bits of a person's life, you know. Like Britney has gone through a lot. There was so much more about her conservatorship, I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna look this up. Britney's conservatorship. There was so much more about her conservatorship that I didn't realize. I honestly thought it was mostly about her financial freedom. I thought that like her finances were controlled by her family, which on its own is pretty messed up because it's her money. She's literally working. She's the one performing. She's the one recording. She's the one dancing. So it's her labor that they were like benefiting from. But I thought it stopped there with like her financial freedom. But it was so much more than that. She had no say on anything in her life. She lost like ownership of her own body. She couldn't decide what she ate. She couldn't decide where she would take herself. Literally every single thing in her life was controlled by her parents, to the point where like at one moment she wanted to like try to have another kid, and her father wouldn't let her take her like fucking IUD from her body. Like it's insane how she did not have any say in anything that happened to her for such a long time. And the fact that they had the audacity to institutionalize her, like it's mind-boggling that that happened to one of the most successful, to one of the most well-known pop stars of our generation. It's just it's wild, and I think that it really makes you think about child celebrities, about how much say parents should have. And like once your kid becomes successful, even though you are their legal guardian, should you be the one making decisions based on finances? Because honestly, if you're gonna put your interests above everything that when it comes to your child, then maybe you should not have that right. And even her sister, like she literally had no one. Britney Spears had no one on her side. And I really do feel for her, because not only was her experience extremely isolating, but I bet it like really messed with her head. Because if you can't trust your own family, if every person that you meet, every person you have a relationship with is using you for their own personal gain, then who can you trust? I feel like she had such little people in her life that actually cared about her, and it's so sad. And honestly, like before I started listening to this audiobook, I had this idea of like, yeah, like Britney Spears is kind of weird now. She posts a lot of like weird pictures on Instagram and like weird videos, but honestly, she should just do it. Because for so long, since she was 13 years old, she has had people tell her what to do with her body. People tell her how to dance. People tell her how to speak. People tell her who she should date. That honestly, she should just be allowed to live her life however she wants to. I honestly think that whatever she chooses to do from now on, it's her right. She has owned that right to just live her life as authentically, and to just enjoy what makes her happy. And if posting videos, dancing, however she wants to on Instagram is what makes her happy, then she should do it. Because she really went through a lot, and she is someone that I didn't realize how much she grinded, like how much she worked to get to where she was. And for so long, she did not get to enjoy what she had achieved, and the amount of money and the amount of wealth and the amount of success that she has honestly earned. So I feel like she should just live her life however she sees fit. Do I think she's a perfect person? Absolutely not. I think there are other things that she might have done that are not that great, but she is also a person, and a person that has had her image and her life up for debate in the spotlight for way too long. And I feel like there is no way for anyone to be that well whenever they have had to deal with that. Because like when I think about it, even when you post a video, like I posted a video on TikTok once and it got a little bit of backlash because people didn't agree with my opinion about a certain book. That is hard to go through. Imagine your whole life. Imagine going to a stadium. You cannot go to a football game or baseball game and the whole stadium starts booing you. That has got to mess up with your head. So I feel like for too long, Britney has had people tell her who she should be. She has had people tell her how to act, how to talk, how to do everything. And if she needs to take ownership of her life right now, she deserves it. And I want the best for her. I Speaking more in technical terms, I feel like the book is not that well written. I don't think it was written by Britney, but it truly feels like the author, whoever wrote it, took like a voice message from Britney and just transcribed it, because it's very informal and she breaks the fourth wall a lot. I don't know if that's just on the audiobook, but I doubt it. So the writing itself, not that great, but it's also extremely accessible. It's really easy to understand what she's saying. It's a short book and she goes very fast through her whole life, but I think she gets to choose what she wants to tell. She doesn't owe us or anyone more than whatever she feels comfortable sharing about her life, than whatever she feels is important for her to tell. And that's the story that she chose to tell us, and that's what we get, and I think I am extremely happy with it. I do think it's worth a read, even though the title of this book is So You Don't Have to Read It. I do think it's still worth a read. The audiobook is really, really good, it's really easy to listen to, it goes by really fast, and it's a very eye-opening story, and it really puts into perspective what we were told to believe. Like, it puts into perspective the things that we don't realize that are going on behind the scenes when it comes to the media, and how much we don't consider pop stars people. Because I had to come to terms with the fact that I myself, for a very long time, did not see Britney Spears as a person. I saw her as a star, and I never once stopped to think about, how is she doing? Not until people started the Free Britney movement. So I think that that's just a reminder to consume, but consume with the idea that the people behind the songs, the music videos, and all of that, they are people as well, and there might be a lot more going on than what it appears. And yes, fame comes with money, it comes with wealth, it comes with privilege, but it also comes with a lot of hardships that we don't get to see. So let's not just assume things about people. And something else that I really enjoyed is that towards the end of the book, you understand why this book is called The Woman in Me. And I really like that messaging of, like, for so long, because she was a child superstar for so long, and she didn't have, any say on who she was going to become. Not only was it predetermined for her by the media and by her parents, but also once she got the censorship, I don't know how to say that, you know what I'm talking about. She got the censorship thing, conservatorship, whatever. She also wasn't allowed to become a woman, the most important years in her life were spent being told who to be. And now she's being allowed to grow into the woman in her, and I'm honestly happy for her. And I wish her the best in this journey. And you, Justin Timberlake, and you, Britney's family. That's all I gotta say. I've talked for way too long about this book, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and I really, really hope to see you on my next video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye bye.